that intro does not get you fired up, I don't know what will. Welcome, everybody, to the GGPoker YouTube channel. It's Tuesday, and that, of course, means it's time for another edition of the Super Millions Final Table. Me and Felipe Ramos. Spoiler, that's our guest today. We can bring him in anytime. It's one of my favorites. Felipe is here, but we were just talking about all the online crushers there are, all the crazy plays there have been lately, and I feel like there's no bigger stage for somebody with some poker skills, some poker pizzazz to come in and show what they got than the 10K Super Millions Final Table. I'm telling you, I don't think today's going to disappoint. We have some absolute superstar poker players at this final table with a lot of money to play for. I am super excited, but let's say hello to our guest today, Felipe Ramos, part of the GG team, one of my favorite people. Felipe, how you doing today, my man?
What's up, K-Marks? Very glad to be here with you today, my man. Appreciate the kind intro. Always supporting your business, killing the commentary, killing the poker streets as well. So it's very nice to be reunited with my brother K-Mark for this Super Million broadcast today.
Yeah, it should be a great time. If you guys in the YouTube chat, I see some good energy out there. If you can hit us with an early sub to the GGPoker YouTube channel and an early thumbs up, that would really help. We're going to get the cards in the action right away. Of course, this final table started about 30 minutes ago. We're on about a 30-minute delay to protect the integrity of the game. Oh my goodness. Felipe, you've been playing the World Series online. I've been playing the World Series online. I've seen you make some good plays out there. You're running deep. You know, I've been playing some games as well, and I'm ready to break down some action with you.
Awesome. Me too. I'm actually very excited. WSOP Online is always a great time to be playing poker, right? That moment of the year that we expect that we want to be playing. Yeah. Also, putting some effort in the live streets, but the focus now is WSOP Online and also the Super Millions, man. I love the Super Millions. Super Millions is probably like the greatest tournament ever of all time of online, you know, because it's the main high roller tournament every Sunday, so you get to see the best players in the world every Sunday and every Tuesday at the final table. It's like a dream.
It is. I've played it a few times and had some mixed results, but I always try to satellite in. I always try to buy in when I can, and it's just the tournament at the top of the poker mountain that, you know, I personally have always been striving for. And with that said, I mean, let's get the cards in the air. Let's go. Super Millions. Here we go. Cards are in the air. Let's look at the bottom right prize pool. These players are all playing for $317,000 up top. And immediately, I just want to point out the massive chip lead. Almaz there in the cutoff. 6 million. 6 million. Previously, no winnings on the Super Millions. That is going to change today. Look at that. That's the profile picture from very famous Quentin Tarantino movie, Pulp Fiction. Yeah, and Almaz is going to put those chips to work. Wow, there's nobody even close. This is a huge chip disparity, about 4x second place right now. Almaz is going to try to run over this table.
That's a first for me, K-Mark. I never seen, you know, regular Super Millions. I stack as big as that man stacks like a massive.
Yeah, most of the times the Super Million starts, you know, there's a couple people close to the chip leader. I have personally never seen somebody so far ahead of the rest of the field. So I kind of like that. It's like an interesting dynamic. And what I'm really interested to see is how do the stacks with 1.4 million, 1.4, 1.6, do they play really defensive? Do they try to take a spot or two? I mean, you want to win the Super Millions, but also when somebody's so far ahead like this, like you have to be considering the massive pay jumps, of course.
Yeah, absolutely. I guess like the stacks that are in the middle of the pack, of course, are the most difficult to play. And but if you make a final table like Chunlei Zhu, for instance, with only 3 times the starting stack, right? So you're riding the wave. Like anything that happens will be nice for you today. But these other players, they have some good expectations.
Yeah, well said. Like, does Almaz go for the 6-9 suited? No. Okay, I was wondering if they were just going to heat check and like see how wide they can open right out of the gate. We see Andriy Novak. Man, I've battled a lot of these players lately. I got to point out Nicholas sitting there with 700K, one of the all-time poker legends. There he is. Needs no introduction. GGPoker, $21 million in winnings. I always joke, like, this guy's gotten it done. You know, maybe it's time to pick up disc golf as a hobby. Maybe, you know, work on his tan a little bit, go outside. This guy just doesn't take a day off. He always grinds the highest stakes, and he just crushes, man. I know for a fact he has just destroyed the Super Millions on a consistent basis. So not surprised to see Nicholas here back at another big final table.
Yeah, I know for a fact that he is one of the best players. His work ethic is simply amazing. I had the opportunity to play with him in the live poker table last year for the first time, right? Because we've been betting online like for a long time, but like in person. And I can also assure and reassure that he's a terrific, nice guy as well. So it's also very nice to get to know the poker heroes and know that they're cool people too.
Mm-hmm. He's a nice guy, but man, he's tough to play against in the online poker streets. Here he's going for a little light 3-bet. I kind of like this. He's attacking what we assume to be a wide open, but Almaz with the ace queen, just going to stick it in, or are we just going to just put the pressure back in his face? Could call, could shove. What would you do here with the ace queen, Felipe?
I think I'll play the ace queen for sure. It's hard to speak because we making the commentary, seeing the cards. So sometimes we will try to not be biased at all, right? Doing the commentary, but like against a very creative player and a player that has a lot of skills, I think your ace queen will be performing pretty well. Let's say you're playing versus like a player that doesn't have that much experience. See, and you just got bluffed.
Yeah.
So I was gonna say that whenever you're playing an opponent that plays way better than you, and you're gonna do an okay play, right? A play that you know it's profitable long term, just try to equalize and resolve pre-flop. That's probably the best advice also for anybody in the chat. If you're playing a tournament out of your league and you're playing against like a better player than yourself that has more experience, try to resolve most of the stuff pre, and then you won't get outplayed just like a Nicholas outplayed his opponent right now.
Yeah, I mean, that was fascinating. I did not think Queen 10 suited was going to find a win there, but he did find victory. Just shows you the kind of skills he has. That's an interesting spot. Second in chips, Andre with the queens. Almaz just goes for the defend. I'm not familiar with Almaz as much. I mean, it seems like they play a lot on GG. Seems like they got, some pretty good skills, but it's just going to be fascinating to see how they manage the massive chip lead here. And it looks like they're probably going to lose another one here with a pretty good pre-flop hand. But Andre with the queen. I'm excited to be here, Felipe. Richard Grant in the chat says, nice to see you back, Kevin. Yeah, I was the full-time host of the show for a while. Oh, my goodness. Almaz using the ace-jack of spades as a bluff here, and this is not going to work. This is aggressive out of the big blind. Kind of like it. Interesting. Ace-jack of spades. How are the two queens going to respond?
It's a very, very interesting play. Oh, my goodness.
That is a naughty turn card. And the fascinating thing here is this card's actually better for Andre's range. When Almaz check raises, they're not going to have an ace all that often, but they have one here. It's kind of a weird hand. This is spicy here on this turn card. I'm not sure how this one's going to play out.
Yeah, in exactly what we were talking earlier, right? And if you have a lot of players shorter than yourself, so you want those players to bust before you, right? So you have a lot of incentives to fold the best hand, right? You know you're gonna fold the best hand more often if you didn't have those incentives.
100%. Now, Queen's in a really, really tough spot here because that's already about a third of their remaining chips. And you have a hand that doesn't really improve on the river, does call. Fascinating. Big pot, 2 million in the middle. Wow, that's an interesting card. The backdoor flush comes in. Neither player going to have a 5 very often. What does Almaz do here? 2 million chips in the middle.
Oh no, he checked.
Check. Andre's going to be a little disappointed not to have the winner there, but also kind of happy. Didn't face a tough river spot. Is well
Yeah, of
played.
course.
Now he says well played. Is that a sarcastic well played? I don't know if he actually. We have to ask him. I think there's a little sarcasm in that WP there,
Uh,
perhaps.
I think it was like total sarcasm there.
Oh, well, that was funny. Now Andre going to try the big pair once again from early position. This time, wow, no defend from the 8-5 suited there. Felipe, have you been playing the 10Ks lately? How have they been going for you? The
Yeah,
10Ks.
I actually happen to have like a good record on those. Lately, I didn't have like many great results on the 10Ks, despite of like thinking playing better than when I was getting some results there. You know what I mean? And I just love to play, man. The Super Millions is like also always amazing tournament, like top of the Sunday.
It really is. It really is the cream of the crop when it comes to this tournament. Some chop outs for ace jack, backdoor clubs. It's not looking good. We might have our first elimination here. We do. Ace queen holds. Rumkulas gets the knockout. Young player. I got a, we're going to say GG to our 9th place finisher, 43,000. Congratulations there. Zhao. You hate to be the first one to get knocked out, but making the Super Millions final table, quite an accomplishment. A nice 4.3x return on your buy-in. I was just saying, before this final table started, I got a DM from fellow GG team member, Patrick Egyptian. Said, watch out for Rumkulas. He's a good friend of Patrick's. He's a 22-year-old killer. Going to be an absolute master in the online poker streets is what he told me. He's just the new wave of the next beast. There he is. And I've played this guy a lot lately. He's been in a lot of my games, and I'm telling you, he's not easy as well. There's a lot of good players out there, man. There's a lot of good players out there.
Yeah, me too. I can attest. He's a very good player. Looking forward to know more and see more from him. And as I said, three starting stacks for the final table. You're pretty short. You're happy to try to spin it up. Unfortunately, he couldn't, so he got 9th place, which is very odd. Whenever you're using a Real Madrid avatar, you expect to win all the flips, you know, make all the comebacks. That's why he has the Real Madrid avatar. Just like the football team that can make all crazy comebacks in the world, Real Madrid is just amazing. You can be losing the game by 2-0 first half, no problem, 3-2 second half. So this time didn't work out for him.
I understood you were talking about football and soccer, but my North American brain just can't process. I was like, okay, I've heard of the name Real Madrid. I know that's a soccer team. This is a fascinating hand. Limp raise call. Nicholas flops the nuts and then checks it back. And here we are on the turn card. This tricky flop check with the nuts. I assume we're going small for value now, like 120,000, 130, 140, something in that range, like 40% pot. That would be my guess. Let's see what Nicholas does. Okay, 190. Not too far off. Now, this is just so interesting because Rum got to see the turn card. I assume we're calling one with Jack 9. It's tough to just fold this versus Nicholas. This would be a very impressive fold with the Jack 9 if they can just let it go on the turn. No, can't do it. Oh, that's going to kill some action for Nicholas.
Yeah, good river.
I love watching these good players play, you know, because I've been working on my game a lot, trying to expand and like seeing the cards up coverage, trying to predict what they're trying to do. Nicholas just shove here. It's tough to get called by worse if he just goes all in. Maybe he does a tricky smaller size. Yeah, something like this, 462. A little bit less than non-all in. And I think this is it. Nice hand, nice hand. Could have maybe got a little more value, but that ace of hearts on the river really killed the Jack 9 of clubs there. Nicholas, what a start to the final table for him. God, he's good. I mean, he just hit the nuts. That helps, but God, he's good.
Yeah, and I think it's his wheelhouse is that he does not go for the conventional plays. I played this guy so much, and I played on stream big tournaments versus this guy as often. People on stream say like, "Whoa, what did he do there?" You know, because he often goes for something very creative, different. You know what I mean? Like not always like the best play by solver or by like the majority of what the hags would think, and that's what makes him one of the best, if not the best, one of the best.
100%, man. That's where those like top guys can find another gear. Is obviously they put tons of theory work in. They've studied the game from a theoretical perspective, but they also are just like really good at the human element of like making reads. This person is this hand, and so I'm going to do this to just destroy them and make their life uncomfortable. Like they understand GTO, but they also know how to play vastly different in certain situations, and that's what makes the goats the goats. And Nicholas just he's on the hype train here. Here he goes. Nice run out, gets paid a little bit. I mean, he just like this, he's into second place. He's into second place behind Almaz.
Yeah, amazing. I mean, this final table, there are a lot of like strong players, like Andre, very strong player. He is very aggressive, very difficult to play against. Of course, Mule Locker is in my opinion is one of the best out there as well. Has a tons and tons of experience, and now just woke up with the Pocket Kings. That will help as well.
Magical spot here. Chip leader raises. You see an all in. You look down at King King. Here we go. Jack's going to be quite upset to see they're way behind.
Yep. It's almost impossible to fold and have 5 blinds behind.
%95%. It is bleak for the Pocket Jacks. River. Oh, it's paint. It is paint. That was sweaty. It's not the right paint. Queen of Clubs falls, and we have our 8th place finisher, Rumculus. Watch out for that name in the poker world, boys and girls. 56,000. Great showing here. And I mean, a lot of the short stacks here have to be quite pleased. Couple of ladders. Everyone's up to 71,000. You know, when you come in short, you get a couple of ladders. Takes a little bit of the pressure off. And it's kind of what we expected here. The chip leader has continued to grow. Nicholas has picked up some chips. This should be a good finish. 7 players left.
Yep, nothing he could have done differently there with jacks. You hate the spot. You, of course, looking forward to see some kind of action with an ace king, maybe pocket tens. But of course, you're gonna get dominated. You're gonna be dominating that spot very often. And another strong player is Rodrigo from Brazil. Also very experienced player, Supernova Elite, big sit and go crusher back in the day, has a lot of experience playing the highest stakes online as well. So it's a guy that's gonna go for it. It's beautiful to watch him play. He's very creative as well and very strong.
Chip leader with another strong hold in here. Limp raise call. Both flop a pair. But I don't think Rodrigo's going to love this board texture. Facing 1/3. I think he's going to call. We're going to see a turn card, but ace, king, 8. Yeah, he does peel. Wow, Almaz just with the world here. A lot of strong players out of Brazil, Felipe. Do you know who I was watching play the other day that just blew my mind? And I've played with him online, but watching him play at the Triton Series, Yuri. Oh, my God.
Yeah. He's a very strong player for sure. One of the best. And also very unconventional player.
Wow. Rodrigo peels the turn bet to a big size. I guess he thinks Almaz is just like kind of getting out of line. There's some polar bluffs like Jack 5, Jack 4, Jack 2. But Almaz gets some good value. And what a start for Almaz. Came in as the massive chip leader and has been smooth sailing. Over 7 million. I've never seen such a chip lead like this with
He has
7 players to go.
over 50% of the chips in play. Has everybody covered combined.
Yeah, way over. My goodness. This one's not going to work.
Wow.
Ace King. I think high pressure ISIM situation. Ace King just wants to rip here. Nothing else. You don't want to mess around with small 3-bets. I think you're just like, you just really want to pick up a pot. This is, this is fascinating, Felipe. I've done a bunch of these final tables, and every time I feel like I see something new, and then this is a first. This is a first. But will somebody be able to challenge Almaz?
Yeah, absolutely. You're right. I've been playing poker professionally for 15 years now, and often every day something shows up that it's the first time for me or a particular situation. That's why we love poker. That's why it's not like we always playing, we're always trying to improve, and people that are outside the poker world, they say like, "Well, you already know the game. What are you improving for? You're already a professional." No, every day we're studying, we're learning something new, right?
Absolutely. What a spot for Andre. The birds in the big blind. Again, I think we're all in. Could get cute with a little squeeze size, but that's just going to look like the nuts. Oh, he does. He does go non-all in. Okay. Now this looks strong. It is strong. It is ace-ace.
Yep.
Be a good play to find a bluff there with like ace-9 or something. But
Yeah,
this time he just has bullets.
I just not like this play because it, as you said, this is always going to be so strong. You know, there will be literally close to non-bluffs in that spot, you know.
Mm-hmm.
So that's when playing a little bit more straightforward is good, right? And when you try to like reinvent a play to try to get some action, it often will look a little bit suspicious and even stronger. So if you jam in that spot, you know, that's what a weakness looks like. You know, I just want to collect this spot, you know, and that's the message you're sending out there. But I definitely understand why you 3-bet, but often we're not gonna be the best play in that spot.
I do agree with you there. Almaz making some nice hands. Check two in position here. Probably gonna go for a small bet. We have King Jack, Jack of Diamonds. This is great. This is gonna be some great action here. Table bully. Again, thank you for joining us on the GG YouTube channel. Welcome everybody. See y'all in the chat. What up, Khaled K, Everton, Federico.
Yeah, and he's the table bully. He has all the chips, and he's getting all the good hands as well.
Yeah, absolutely. Some very good hands. Notice Andrew just flatting. Andrew's happy just to call, take a flop in position. You don't really want to 3-bet non-all in. Shove's like pretty expensive as well. It makes sense to flat this hand. That's a huge flop for Andre. Moolocker flops top pair as well. Everybody here's got a little something.
Yep. Yeah, and this is a great flat from the ace queen, as you said right there. Definitely the best play, regardless of what's going to happen. And now you feel like you have like the nuts, right? Top versus chip leader aggression, rainbow board. So you gotta be feeling pretty nice.
Yeah, a little surprised that Almaz bet small here, but I guess that's kind of, you know, just small size, use the chip leader. Oh, this is very fascinating. Bet, call. Multi-way pots are so interesting because it's just a way different thing than heads up. So now if we have the 2-10s, we know we're not good. Okay, Almaz just kind of yields defeat. What a weird spot for Andre now.
It's a great turn card. So it fires 1/3.
I think Moolocker is going to get out of the way here, and just like I think Moolocker is just going to have the senses that their queen 10's no good. chip leaders behind. Don't improve on many rivers. It's top pair. Oh no, Moolaker does call. Okay. Okay, incorrect prediction there. I thought maybe they could ninja fold the turn. I thought that was coming.
Yeah, but I don't think that's incorrect prediction at all, because I think like we just said, like he's one of the best.
Yeah.
He's a very strong player, but that was clearly a mistake. That was clearly a mistake, because whenever you flat versus the chip leader range, you're flatting like strong hands, right? You're not flatting like speculation, you're flatting like only strong. So whenever you're closing the action to see a turn card after a bet and a call, and you still call versus the strong range, I think that was like a some sort of like big mistake. And I agree with you. We should fold that turn very often, especially because you're gonna have to go with it on the river whenever you see a blank card, and that's probably not the best play. Just defend your blind and check all, stack off. It doesn't seem ideal to me.
Good analysis there, Felipe. It's kind of easy against seeing the cards. Now, this is interesting. That is just over 13 blinds. At the start of a tournament, this would be an easy call for chips. You just run your hand. You're just pretty happy with it. But here it's different. If Nicholas loses half their stack, it's very, very bad under ICM. So let's see what Nicholas does. Could see it going either way here. If the fives were a little bit shorter, King Queen suited would call for sure. These ICM spots, man, they're tricky. They're tricky.
Yeah, they're very tricky, because if he calls and he loses, he has way less benefit than calling and winning, right? So it's a tricky spot. Somewhere around 13 to 16 blinds, you'll find this kind of spot and this decision to make. I like the play. I think the play is very like you can tell that somebody that really knows in details, what he's doing, and a less experienced player would just like call.
Yeah, I agree. Especially with his skill level too. Like he can just make so many more moves with 1.2 million than 600K if he does lose.
Yeah, but then he's like the short stack, right?
Mm-hmm.
So now with 1.2, he has like pretty much, he can do everything. He can open, he can 3-bet, he could jam, So that's very important for a player like Nicholas to have like this arsenal of plays available, for you. So I really like the play.
Very nice. Almaz, the chip leader, getting after it with the 69-0. Raises the small blind. I think, fires a big bet. I love this. Instantly put pressure. I love that bet size. Just pressures like the overcards that, if he bets small there, he's going to get floated a lot. Just classic bully ball. I have more chips than you. I'm going to bet close to pot, and like whatever you want to do, we can just go from there. I love it.
I like it too.
What a dream spot that is to have. I just like, last night when I was sleeping, I just like 7.3 million at the final table of the Super Millions. Literally a poker dream. Oh, bad news here for the Brazilian player, Rodrigo. Easy reshove, but runs into it. Has 33%. Let's get a chop here for Rodrigo, Felipe. Hey, 4 or 5? No. GG.
Let's do it. No.
Good game to Rodrigo. Beast. Great showing. Super Millions winnings. GGPoker winnings. As you were saying, longtime pro. Supernova Elite, etc., etc. Nice result here. $71,000.
GG. I don't think he could have done anything differently there as well with the ace-10 suited. He was already on the bottom of the stacks, of the stack count. So just got a little bit unlucky finding a better holding, but another final table. That's the bright side, And next Sunday he will be playing again. Maybe we will see him here on Tuesday once more. Grinders gonna grind, Kmart.
Yeah, I know, man, dude. These grinders. I play a lot of poker, but there's these guys that, it's like holy moly, they just every day they can find it.
Yeah, I'm often like playing a live event, and then I'm like traveling home, and like on the way, I don't know, I'm at the airport or something. I see there's already people that were with me in the live event. They're already playing online. I was like, how do you do it?
Look at Almaz, 8-9 offsuit, really going to turn up the gas now as a big chip lead has turned into a mega chip lead, has turned into a Colossus chip lead, has turned into one of the craziest runaways here potentially at the Super Millions final table. 8 million now. You can combine everybody else's stack and then you have to multiply it. And then like you're like, this is crazy right now. He's getting a walk. Like this is just a runaway right now.
The dream.
A couple of people in the chat are criticizing Nicholas's play. He 3-bet bluffed the Jack 4 suited. Classic chat pro, you know, criticizing the play of somebody who's literally won millions of dollars every, you know, year after year.
Yeah, that's not even the case. The case is like a player is entitled to make mistakes, right?
100%.
We're all entitled to make mistakes, but you need to understand that there's such good reasoning in his mind for making that play. You know, sometimes he's thinking things that I did not think about, that never crossed your mind. You know, and he's doing his thing, and it's working pretty nicely for him. He's at the final table, right? And I'm here doing the commentary, so you know what I mean. And so I just like to see a player that plays differently and try to understand what he's thinking instead of criticizing. I think that's a much better exercise than that.
Almaz turning up the gas. Jack 6 offsuit in the cutoff. Just saying, I have so many chips now. We're really going to push the level of my opening range. Goes half here. Collecting. It's worked out very nicely. Now, when you're finding wide opens like this, you know, often you can get played back at, but I mean, they've also had the hands. They've won the pots. This is nuts. This is nuts. What do you think, chat? Who's going to win this tournament? Is it Almaz or is somebody else going to find a way?
Yeah, and there's another thing I would like to complete here, Kmart, if you allow me, which is the condition and the health and the mentality of the player. It's something that plays out big time, and sometimes people that are watching, they do not put this in count. They do not realize this, right? So for a player that is crushing, that's doing really well, has a good bankroll, is in a good state of mind, so you would see more of those kind of plays, right? So, and like a little bit in defense of Andre for his play with the aces early. Let's say you're in a spot that this final table is gonna like triple your bankroll, quadruple your bankroll, or something like that. And then I know you have aces, but there are other short stacks, and maybe you 3-bet in that spot because you don't want to run too much of a risk, you know, to play maybe a multi-way pot or have the chance on busting ahead of other players that are short stacked. So you need to have everything in balance, you know, before you analyzing a player's play, because there's a lot of background.
100%. Now this is interesting. Ace-9 seemed dead in this hand, but finds the 9. But does Almaz pressure? Does Almaz? I thought Almaz might have bet the turn. God, this is a stimulating experience, man. Like every decision is so important. Like he could have bet the turn, win the pot up to 8.6 million. Here we are. Now it goes check, check. Wow, pretty unlucky for Almaz not to have the best hand there going into the river.
Yeah, and I think the river play is fine. River play is fine. If you don't bet the turn, you don't wrap too much on the river. And you're also blocking the ace of hearts. So it's not actually a very good card for you to have in your hand in that spot. So I think it's fine. Check, check. If he decided to check down that turn, checking back the river, it's okay.
I like it. I think you're bang on there. Nicholas is the short stack, gets a reshove through there. So all these players have locked up 92,000. After one more elimination, we will be into the six-figure club. Nicole Lee in the chat says, I want to see Kevin Martin win this one day. I mean, me too, man. I've had some good results on GGPoker this year, but every time I dip my toe into the super high stakes, they've gotten me, Felipe. I'm not gonna lie, man. I haven't done well in the 10Ks. Done very, very poorly.
But that's just a matter of time. I mean, that's just a matter of time. We know how poker works. You need to put the effort. You need to put the numbers, right?
Yeah. So
you do not expect to pay a couple tournaments here and there and just cash or win, because that will be like an understatement of how poker tournaments work. So trust your game, trust your process. I'm sure you're gonna get there. I know you're gonna get there. Chat knows you're gonna get there as well, because you have this drive, to keep getting better, to keep evolving.
Thanks, man.
So that's the only thing a player needs to get there.
I really appreciate that. I've had such a good year, but recently I've had a horrible World Series online. But that's also part of the upswing, you downswing. There's also just so much variance. You know what I mean? You got to keep analyzing, improving, and if you just keep doing that, we'll be.
And
okay.
I'm talking from an experience perspective, right? Because some of the big pros, I'll tell you something out there. Some of the big pros, they sometimes sell a lot of action for this big series, right? Because it's like you're gonna spend like $1 million plus, right? If you're gonna fire everything. So I'm not gonna say names, of course, but just for reference, I often bought shares of some of the best players out there, and I've seen these players playing like thousands of tournaments and brick, and brick.
Yeah, exactly.
So people outside from poker or playing poker for not so long may not realize how variance works, right? And I just don't like to talk about others. I like to talk about myself, because if I talk of something bad about myself, I hope to inspire other people as well. But when I started playing the high rollers as well, it was tough for me. It was tough. I did not cash my first big events. I went to cash on my first 50K was in 2018. But I did not have any much volume in there as well, right? But for the chat pros and for others, that guy cannot play. You see, he never cash and whatever. So it's normal. When you get there, Kmart will be the best player in the world as well, because we love you, so we're gonna pump you up. That's how human beings, how the human mind works,
Dude, I appreciate it, Felipe. I needed some of that, man. I needed some of that. I just felt the swings lately. Thank you, bro. Dude, me and Felipe met a long time ago, and dude, you've always been one of my favorite people. And I don't actually, I hang out with a lot of people in the poker world. I just don't say that about many people. But something about you and that first tournament we played back in New Jersey years ago, and how kind you were, and I was like, wow, this dude's a real authentic soul here. Is you know what I mean? So
I appreciate that.
Little love fest going on here. All right, Almas just killing this table right here, but facing the small 3-bet from the ace queen. Ace jack, Felipe, might be my least favorite hand when I'm facing a 3-bet out of position. I just don't know what to do. I just don't know what to do with ace jack in this spot. It's tough.
It's often very, very, very often overplayed. That's true, right? Oh, beautiful fold.
Yeah, really nice.
Yeah, because whenever you chip leader, you're supposed to get 3-bet a lot. So ace jack plays much better than other spots. So that was a great fold right there.
Yeah, exactly. Because when you open and face the 3-bet, it's like ace 10 off is a pretty easy fold, and then ace queen you're usually continuing. Ace jack is the one that's just situational, and you have to kind of manage the situation Here we have Nicholas with the GG nuts. Now, Felipe, I played a lot on GGPoker, millions of dollars of buy-ins. I find that pocket sevens are unbelievable in GGPoker. Do you relate to this at all?
I'll tell you, that's our favorite hand as well. We also play the memes with the pocket sevens on stream, and it is the nuts, but not only on GG. It is the nuts for life everywhere. So, there's a song in Portuguese language. It's a Brazilian funk song, so it's very like active, song that we say. A boss is a boss, when you 2 sevens on the flop, just for the record. So you say like and boss in Portuguese would almost sound like 7, right?
I love it.
So we say 7 is 7, 7 is the boss. We always play the meme. It's a lot of fun.
I love it. I call them the GG nuts, dude. They're indestructible. This is a fascinating. This turn card's a really big turn card here. Andre has top pair. Just check calls the flop. Now, I am fascinated to see how Nicholas plays this. I am fascinated. I am going to guess that this is a hand he probably checks. It's just, but let's see. He does check it back. Okay, we got that one right. It's just like you have the equity that doesn't. You don't want to face a shove under ICM. You have 2 big spades. But now he's just in an interesting spot. Ace-9 is the best hand. Ace-9 is going to check. And now what does Ace-King of spades do? Snap checks and loses.
Yeah. It's just a bad spot because it's a paired board, and inside straights as well. Pairs very unlikely to fold whenever the board is paired. So you just gotta play it slow, that spot.
Lines are at 30K, 60K.
That's also nice for us to see Nicholas making that play, because I think that's the common sense overall best play for that spot. Sometimes you're looking for like, whoa, I often do this because I know this is a very good exercise, and I also like to teach people to do this as well. Whenever trying to study, I tell them, like, pick up 2 poker players that are your favorite. So from time to time, think you are them. Think you are one of them. And then instead of thinking like, oh, what should I do in this spot? What Nicholas Asted would do in this spot. So I like to train and coach and to let people understand from this scenario as well, because I think there's a lot of growth from that perspective. And see, if I put myself in his shoes now, right, and I will do the same play, I gain so much confidence, I gain so much confidence in my game.
That's really interesting. That's kind of an interesting mental thing to do. I've never really considered that before. I like that. I'm going to try that during my session tonight.
Yeah, and maybe you'll find something different. Like that's how you evolve in poker, because back in the day, you could be qualified as let's say a very tight player and make money, right? So nowadays, with the solvers, with the game evolving, it's very hard for you to make money in poker if you play a certain type of style, right? So you need to adapt and understand a lot the scenarios you're in. And the best way, in my opinion, my humble opinion, to do it is to try to think how your favorite players think.
I love it. That's a really cool mental exercise. Here we see Almaz going to get after it with the Jack-3 off. I think Ace-8, it's scary with short stacks, but I think we limp shove, right? Like we have a really nice hand. Chip leader's going to be out of line. It is scary, but like peeling out of position seems scarier to me than limp jamming. Oh, he does limp call. Now this could be a very interesting hand. We have Ace-8 with a diamond, but boy, we're in the blender here out of position. Not many runouts are favorable. Gotta think Almaz has a hand that just like really wants to bluff.
Yeah, and I think if you have chips, you're the chip leader right now. You have position. You just gotta take the initiative. You know.
Checks. I am shocked they checked that flop.
Yeah, I like to see some aggression there. It's a very difficult board to navigate. Uh, Two other players, less chips. So I know that nowadays the ICM spots are a little bit talked about too much. I don't think people understand too much about ICM. So sometimes they make plays kind of trying to say they're trying to preserve their chip stack. The ICM is important, but sometimes will be the best play will be the total opposite.
Very interesting how this hand went down here. Check, 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 check. You see it with the 8 of diamonds. See, that's what I mean. Like, you know, pre-flop, I thought this is why poker's so fascinating. I thought this hand was going to go in many different directions. I did not expect to be here. Now Almaz has the jack 3, throws out a little semi-bluff. That's not going to work. I think Almaz might look back at that one and regret. I think they could have won that in a different way. Here we are, still massive chip leader. Hey, a bunch of people in the chat are asking about the World Series of Kmart. And yes, today is the final event. Felipe, I've been running this cool series called the World Series of Kmart. They've all been free rolls for my community, people in the poker world. My tournaments have gotten thousands of people playing them. People have won the custom bracelets. 3 people have won Kmart bracelets. I'm sending them to the winners. Today's the main event. Today's the main event on GGPoker. You guys can play the World Series of Kmart if you want. Every single one has been a free roll, but today the main event is a $5 buy-in. $5 buy-in. But it's good value. I'm giving $1,000 to the person who wins out of my own pocket. An extra K in overlay.
That's amazing. That's amazing. That's what I love, because you really help the game grow. You really help out your community. That's the way to go, my friend. Congratulations.
Yeah. Well, the thing is, like, I get so many people, especially in Canada, who like are interested in poker, but they just like, they didn't, you know what I mean? It's kind of intimidating. Oh, here we go with Nicholas reshoving. King Jack suited. Oh, Almaz is ahead. This is a big, big moment. Wow, Nicholas hits a king. Just 3 outs. Wow, that could be a TSN turning point. Nicholas winning that all in. We could look back at that and be like, wow, this is where the downfall happened, but we'll have to see. So yeah, I got a lot of people messaging me that they're interested in poker, but like it's kind of intimidating to try. So my idea was like I wanted to set up free roll tournaments. Hey, come play this tournament for free. You can win money. And it's just got thousands of people. It got thousands of people to play. And so today is the last event. It is the main event. And I was like, let's play $5 buy-in for the main event. If you guys want to play, it's in the private section of GGPoker. It's sitting there right now. I just registered it. Password is WSOK main. WSOK main. And I'm going to stream right after the show, and we're going to talk about it. We're going to sweat it. Should be a great event. Should be a great event. Physical bracelet, you know.
That's pretty nice. That's pretty nice. We have done here in our community the Moja Coupe, right? It's something very similar to the WSOK, which I can relate to. I know that a lot of people love it, and you're helping people getting started. You're helping people build their bankrolls. You know, playing poker, having fun, making friends. That's all poker is about.
Exactly, man. Exactly.
Yeah, I mean, often my criticism goes to the big pros because they only take from the ecosystem. They only take it, you know. And I would like to see these people being more human, being more humble, you know, because everybody starts from a standpoint, right? I know that you're a self-made man, you know, you earned it, so you climbed it, and you climbing it. And I'm just the same. So I know how valuable it is to have an opportunity for me if I cannot play today, or if I can play for lower stakes, or if I can find a place where I can belong, and where I can learn poker, have my friends out there. So that's very, 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 very valuable, especially in the moment we have in the world nowadays, with everything going on.
Exactly.
Where we need to take really good care of our mental health too.
Very well said, man. There's so much going on behind, like, just more than playing of the cards. Real humans, real emotions, real money. Like, dude, what a great industry, though, man. I love poker so much. It's given me so much, and like little ways I can give back. I'm always going to take that opportunity for sure. Because people have helped me as well. Like there's a ton of people. Wow, 5-3 offsuit. Take this, Nicholas. That's a crazy shove. It works. Wow, it works.
Yeah.
That's amazing, man. I love that. Almaz just saying, "Eat it, pal," with the 5-3 offsuit.
Yeah, but what he just done is something that he could never have done, because he started to play really bad. He started to that hand where he tried to bluff the river was very bad. He played really bad that spot, and then after he double up Nicholas, and you don't want to double up the best player in the tournament again, right? So that you have the massive chip lead. You could win this tournament kind of, I don't want to say easy, but you have an easier way to win this tournament, and but not doing that, not doing that.
That was too funny. What a play, Almaz. I like Almaz, man. I'm a big fan here. Just like taking the 5-3 offsuit there is just such a beautiful thing. Moolacher finds a big hand, decides just to min raise. Andre's going to defend here with the beautiful suited Broadway. We're going to have quite the show here down the stretch. 6 people remain. Same kind of dynamic. Classic spot. You min raise with ace king. You have ace high, and you just got to navigate post flop. Not the easiest hand to play.
No, not at all.
Wow, Andre just snap folding there with the backdoors. I guess because Moolacher is so short, probably a strong raising range. That all plays into that.
Yeah, I would say otherwise. I would say, like, if you peel with that hand and you studying the game, you have more options.
Yeah.
But I don't know. I don't blame, of course, the check fold out there. It's the worst hand anyways. But to win this tournament and to survive playing high stakes, you just can't keep doing only the ordinary.
Yeah, exactly. You got to mix it up. You have to.
Yep. So maybe that's why we can establish and like separate like a good chunk of the top players into like the super top players, and the winners, right?
Mm-hmm.
There will be a lot of very good players. There will be top players. There will be winners overall, but they're not gonna be those top players. That's another list.
This is nasty from Nicholas. The limp raise bluff with king 4 offsuit. What does Moolacher do with king jack? This is wild. God, what a pressure spot with this combo. Oh, and Team Moolacher just puts it back in his grill. That was a fascinating hand. With king jack versus king 4, I did not expect it to go limp raise, re-raise, shove. What a play from both of them.
Yeah, we can look at this like we're pretending to be shocked, Kmart, but like these two, they have so much history in the online streets, and it's just like another day, because I've seen these two battle each other like so much, the craziest showdowns, to be honest. So I'm not surprised.
That was so wild.
Yep.
What a hand. Almaz, the chip leader. Blind's going to go up in 3 hands here. Same kind of dynamic presents itself here, 6-handed. Guys, really appreciate y'all joining us today on the GG YouTube channel. If you can hit us with a sub, hit us with a thumbs up. Thank you, Felipe, for joining us today. I was just talking, before the show started, Felipe has a kid. Felipe's traveling all the time. He's playing live, streaming. I don't know how you do it, man. Learning your 4th language right now. Like, holy.
I am. Just gotta go for the YOLO mentality, trying to make the best of the opportunity you have today. And that also will will be like same sort of advice for you that's starting right now in poker or anything you're doing. You know, start today with everything you have, even if it's not much. You know, that's your start point. And I'm trying to do the best with what I have right now. So that's why I cannot neglect at all my family, right? So I need to be a family man because that's the best thing I have in my life. So I'm trying to go the extra mile. I was just at the Trident event. I played the Invitational event, and I busted on day 2, and I instantly flew home. So I got a lot to do. I miss my family, and I'm here with you. So I'm very glad I did that.
Busy schedule, my goodness. Oh, I thought Almaz might shove pre, but just calls. Now look at this. Tens are not going to be happy with this flop. This is interesting. Almaz with like maybe some good instincts here about the strength of the button open. I thought they were going to shove. It just flat. And now can they find victory post flop?
Yeah, I would say that from what we've seen from Almas, he's not a big bluffer, right? And especially on the turn cards. So, uh, uh, kind of a tell. Whenever you see him playing a turn he doesn't bet, means he's weak. So, pretty accurate by now, I guess. Even if we're seeing just a couple of hints. And now if he tries to bluff this river, it's complicated, you know.
Yeah, exactly.
It gets complicated because you don't tell nice stories. So at least he checked this one.
10's going to be happy to win that one on the King Jack Queen board. Okay, blind's going to go up in one hand. Here we go. The payouts, couple eliminations so far. 317,000 for the win. Good question from Frank. Felipe, who's the player who is the most challenging to play against?
Wow, I would say that a couple of players that are very, very tough to play against because they're very literally annoying to play against. I would say Locker is one of them. He's at the table. So this guy is completely like it's super hard, and it's somebody that can annoy you really easy at the table. Whenever you think there's no spot for a bluff, he just bluffs you and goes for it because he's very, very strong. I would say that Nicholas is not that type of player, right? Nicholas is just different type of player. He's very difficult to play against as well. Not saying in the same or better or worse, just like a different kind of player to face. But well, let me say another name as Locker is here. I would say you guys know Joseph Cheong, right? Like a crazy good player, very, very difficult to play against, very creative as well. Go for a lot of creative players. So that's a tough guy you don't want at your table, especially having position versus you, right? There's a South American player which is very, very strong called Fabricio Gonzalez. He's also very, very, very difficult to play in position because it's a guy that will do all the tricks and will play very aggressive and will never give up on a pot. So these three, very hard to give up on a pot. So it's very annoying to play against.
100%. I got another one to add to that list who have been battling a bunch with lately. The Russian player, Andrei Filatov. I know I'm mispronouncing his name. Filatov, though. Oh my God, man, dude! Some of the hands I've played versus this guy lately, it's just like I couldn't believe the hands he showed up with. He is tough to play against. My goodness.
I would say he's in the list 100%. 100%. Those players, they have like a warrior style, you know?
Yeah.
Like another player. Oh, I'll put this player on top of the list. I'll put this one on top of the list. Darren Elias. Elias. He's hell of a tough player to play against, and like sometimes he often gets a little bit criticized because of his play, and I think this is so dumb because that just shows that he's a little bit beyond everybody else. Because I've seen this guy. Like I'll tell you that whenever I started playing the highest stakes, I played a couple tournaments versus that guy, and I was like so impressed that I probably couldn't play a hand versus him because he was just playing like this massive. He was making like huge pots out of these tiny little pots. And so how can you deal with that? You know, very, very, very difficult. Like back in the day, another player I remember as well. This was a good question. Another player I remember back there was Faraz Jaka. Faraz Jaka, I remember
Ah, yeah,
playing
yeah.
versus Faraz Jaka in one of these 10Ks, 2009 or something like this. That would just like sit and watch that guy play because it was so beautiful to sit down and watch him play and battle for every freaking hand. It's just beautiful to see so much talent between Jaka, Elias, and these guys.
Moonlocker here with the GG nuts. A 7 in the big blind hand here as well. Yeah, Faraz Jaka, there's also old footage from like the PCAs where Faraz had his afro going on and he just has mountains of chips and he's just like in his element, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
It's fun. Kmart's back in town. What up, Marco? Good to see you. Kmart, what part of Canada are you from? I'm from Calgary, Alberta. Looks like you're joining us from Vancouver Island. Beautiful part of Canada as well. Same dynamic here, Felipe. Same dynamic. Couple small pots have gotten pushed around. But same, we see Almaz with the big stack and everyone hanging around the 1.3 to 1.7 million mark.
Yeah, now nobody wants to bust. They all have the same stack and Almaz on the top with a huge, huge advantage. So unless a cooler happens, and I mean, we could say Pocket Force Ace King could be a cooler if the button decided to jam Force here. I definitely can see that play happening.
Folds. I like it though.
I think it's probably it's probably a little too much for me.
A little too tight, eh?
Yeah, a little too tight for me. Because I know you have like good opponents on your left, especially on your big blind. But if you fold a pair to the button, it's a little too tight for me. That's why I said I could see a little cooler over there, because if you don't want to get raised in or outplay or something like this, you could have just maybe gone all in, right? And then of course the ace king will have play out as well.
Here we go. Queen 8 off. Almaz maybe noticing everybody's just chilling, gonna get after it here. I love that open. Yeah, I mean it's wide, but he's noticed it's such an insane chip discrepancy right now that this is the time to push it. This is the time to go.
Yeah, and if you're sitting on the top stack right here, I think the ideal play was to play a little bit more aggressive, because you really want to. Yes, that's
I love this shove as well. Yes. Take it. Yeah, you love it. Come on now, what a great play.
Almaz, he's connected. He's listening to us. He's on the stream. He's in the chat. Say hi. That was a great play.
Yeah. Now a couple ace jacks going to go to war here.
Yeah, based on what we're seeing, he's probably flatting, right?
Yeah, I think so. Yeah. Like both players are just going to love this flop. We go check, bet, check raise, get it in. Maybe we'll see. Is that a coffee yet, Felipe? I still have my little pre-workout shake going here.
Yeah, this is matcha green tea.
You live the life of caffeine, my friend. Poker, family. I can't imagine how much coffee you drink or tea.
Well, I actually love tea. I love coffee as well. I used to drink way more coffee than I do nowadays. But I like it. And I know the coffee I'm drinking nowadays has a lot of properties, good for your brain, the lion's mane, new style, so it's not that strong. And but I have reduced my coffee intake, and I also have shown to my people, my community, how to get rid of caffeine, if you know, how to consume less caffeine, because sometimes can be detrimental to your body. And if you guys want to check out, we have that over our Discord channel.
I love it. As predicted, check raise, get it in. Both players going to be happy. Like both players are happy to see the other person have ace jack, basically.
Yeah. With no spades.
Yeah, the big blind could have a set or two pair, and then like in position could have an overpair. So like both players are like, okay, we get half the pot. There's no sweat. It's a very good result for both of them to chop up at this situation. Robert says, is today the Kmart free roll? It is. We are having a Kmart tournament. It's a $5 buy-in today. We've ran 3 free rolls. The main event today is going to be a $5 buy-in. It is $1,000 extra for the winner, though. So that's a nice overlay. It's going to be a good value tournament. If you guys want to join, it's in the private section on GGPoker. Go to Tournaments Private. You'll find it there. You can find the password in the chat as well. WSOK main. I'm excited for it today. I've cashed a couple of my own events. Maybe I just want to take my own event down today.
Oh, that's nice. That's also the way to do it, because you're showing people you take it seriously. And then playing poker doesn't matter what stakes you play. The game is the game. You got to play correctly.
100%. That's a good point. And I find myself, that's something I need to improve on. Like, this last year, I've really upped my average buy-in, so now it's like, when I first started, my biggest tournament was $30. My biggest tournament was $50. Now my smallest tournament's $50. And I notice sometimes I autopilot my smaller buy-in games. It's like, no, if I play that tournament, I need to put my effort into it. It's the bottom of my buy-in range. And that's like something I've been working on to like not phone it in and stay focused and play my game, even though the tournament's much smaller than the other tournaments I got going on.
Yep, for sure. At our Moja Cup, there was a leaderboard. I made a final table of the leaderboard as well. So I gotta show people that the shit I do, it's good shit, right?
I love it.
So they can relate to.
Yeah. Interesting that Malice limps here. As the short stack, I think we want to shove Jack 9 suited. These guys are I've never made a 10K final table. I just gotta say, I think that's a mistake not to shove Jack 9 suited as the shortest stack. To limp fold, it feels very weak to me. Almaz cooking.
Yeah, that's for sure. You don't have much incentive to do that play, right? Because the chip leader will never see you see a chip flop. So why would you do that play? Limp because you're limping. You're gonna get raised, and you have to fold because it's gonna be all your chips. So you have a decision there, and the worst decision is to call. The second best decision will be to fold. So that's why poker is beautiful. Poker, it's like going crazy, especially with GGPoker and everything GG does, with so much opportunity for the players. Literally.
Nicholas is going to call here. There's ICM. It's just too good of a spot. You're going to dominate him too much. Yep. Okay, big one. Can Almaz find a 6? Oh, my goodness. Wow. Might just be their day. It might be the day of Almaz. Unbelievable. Good game to one of the best. Table tap. Unlucky. Wow. $92,000 for Nicholas. Just, the man has the accolades. He has the resume. He has the resume. He has the hair. He has the smile. But man, Almaz did not want to double up Nicholas again there. Finds the A6. And I don't know. The runaway train might be complete with that suck out. I really think it might be.
Yep.
I don't see anybody coming back now.
Yep. GG to Nicholas. I think the play is fine. I don't think the best play will be to shove those kind of hands very often. You could just open. It will be great as well. And now with 5-handed and you have like 10 million chips, it's like it's gonna be really hard for this guy to lose this tournament.
Famous last words, maybe. I've been in this spot before, and you're like, oh man, you're already picturing the title. If you're Almaz, you just gotta stay dialed, just keep playing your game. But Andre takes the shove here. Final 5, and we are officially in the 6-figure club. All these players guaranteed a 6-figure score, but with the lion's share remaining up top, 317,000.
Yeah, I got a question from Jabber. If I'm in Cyprus, no, I'm already back home. Replying to the next question from Icelander, and I do not reside in the USA. I spend a lot of time in the USA, in Las Vegas, playing the tournaments, but I reside in Europe, and most of my time I'm here in Europe or in Brazil, such as there will be WSOP Brazil next month, and I'll be there.
Amazing. I love it. What was the buy-in for this event? Super Millions is always a 10K buy-in, $10,300 or something. I see a shove here. Yeah, ace-6 suited. The battle of the big stack and 4 short stacks. Almaz came in as an overwhelming chip leader. I think they've played overall pretty well. We've nitpicked a couple things, but like the good thing they're doing is just pressure, pressure, pressure. Andre gonna stuff it here.
Yep, the blinds going up, and soon next blind will be 100K big. So 100K big will probably kill everybody else.
Ooh, this is interesting.
But almost.
Andre has a decision and Moodlocker has a decision. Andre has 20 bigs here. Wow, this is fascinating.
Yep.
Felipe, what's going to happen here? I have no idea.
I don't think you can play the ace jack. You're flipping too much. You don't want to do that. There are other players shorter than you. You are currently second in chips if you look at the ICM perspective. So ace jack for me is pretty bad here. Just gotta go with the fold. But ace king, you don't have a decision to make. Just need to click the call button and go with it. And then you're massive in second place, right? And then you can also, if you double up here, you can also apply pressure. Oh my goodness.
Ace King quickly folds.
Oh my.
Dominating situation, passed up on. That caught. I thought Ace Jack was going to fold. I thought Ace King was going to. Dude, ICM is weird. ICM is weird, but that
ICM
one shocked
weird.
me.
But
that one surprised me.
Yeah, I would not. I mean, I'm friends with Moodlocker. Moodlocker is one super sweet, nice guy, big crusher. You know, so for sure he has all the reasons in the world to make that fold. He knows stuff I don't. He knows stuff you don't. He knows stuff the chat don't. So he's a terrific player, very nice guy. But like, in my humble opinion, as your teammate here today, as a commentator today, that's my job, that's my place. So I would say that if I was in his shoes, right, I would have clicked the call button, because you making 120, you earning 120,000 right now. So whenever you click that button and you win the hand, you have a shot to win the 300K plus. And you're a big pro. You play under your a good bankroll. I don't think this pay jumps will matter too much for you anyways, instead of like binking this event. I'm thinking about my edge as well. If I bink this double up and I'm second in chips, I'm already like probably the best player at the table. I would say so that Moodlocker is the best player left, my humble opinion, for all the respect to others. So if you're second in chips here, you have 3 million chips, you're going to have 30 BBs. Soon it's a lot you can do, it's a lot you can work with. Then you can dollar chip leaders, you can kill everybody else. So I think it was a small mistake.
Great breakdown there. That one caught us all by surprise. It really did.
Yeah, and sometimes the ace jack, for instance, ace jack took his time there. I don't think there's even a decision for ace jack there, right? Especially because you're out of position and you can find a better hand behind you, and you could be flipping, and you already second in chips. So then it's I know the chip stack is probably something like very, very, very similar. Very, very, very similar. That's why I would make this play, right? Because if the chip stack is very, very, very similar, you need to try to find an advantage. You need to try to find an edge in good spots. So I don't think I can find a better spots than that very often. That's how I'm basing here my thought process.
Wow, Almaz is gonna keep spinning like shoving like this. This is nuts. Gunk ace 10's folding. Wow, it's just a situation where everybody else is trying to survive. Ace 10 thinking about it. Does call. Ace 10 does call here. It's going to be a great spot for Andre. Can Almaz keep running well, though? Oh, already so close.
He already hit the 3-outer versus Nicholas.
7 on GGPoker. Nope. Andre Novak. That's such a big double for Andre now. Andre can help control the situation, can probably get dot 2 a lot now. Good call from Andre. Fold from Moolocker with ace king, call with ace 10 from Andre. In somewhat similar spots.
Yep, very similar spots. So I don't think it makes too much sense to fold that hand before and call this hand now, right? It doesn't make too much sense. The only sense that the play makes is that you've seen that more often. He keeps on doing that. So it's becoming kind of obvious that he's applying pressure with bad hands.
Yeah.
So then you can make an adjustment and realize that you can play a little weaker range and they'll still be pretty good.
I think there's going to be an all-in from the 4s and a call and a big flip here. 2.7 million in the middle. Ace queen versus 4s. Let's run them. Oh, that's not a big sweaty flop. Okay, there might be some chinks in the armor here. A couple of double ups in Almaz. And still overwhelmingly in control of the situation, but maybe not running away with it like we thought they maybe might.
Yep. Some stacks you can work with now. 2.8, 2.7, you know. So one more double up and then you're settling chips.
Oh no! Oh my!
No way!
Oh
my goodness! But now you have a decision. You're settling chips. Now you have a big decision here with this ace king.
I think ace king suited is going to go for the blood because if Andre wins, he's the chip leader.
Yeah.
Oh, ace 3. This is crazy.
That's what I said.
Wow, chop outs, hunting a 3. Wow, just like this. Just like this, we have a new chip leader. Unbelievable. Wow, a quick demise to Almaz. Oh, what happened? How? My goodness.
Yeah, that's just a terrible play because if you want to apply pressure, there's a play which is called 3-bet. Just go ahead and 3-bet your opponent. You know, there's plenty of room for you to apply a 3-bet and put pressure. You don't need to 3-bet all your chips. So the 3-bet light on that spot with the ace 3, okay. You want to do it? You want to put pressure to the second guy with the second stack? Yes, do it, but not for all the chips. And after all we've seen.
And when it rains, it pours. Look at this.
Oh my
King
goodness.
Jack, trip 9s. When it rains, it pours. This could be expensive. This is crazy.
Right now. He could be done right now. He could be done because he can overplay this hand and just be out.
Oh, the turn. Oh my goodness.
The poker gods are alive. They're watching.
How much can he get back now? Good turn check from Andre.
Wow. If you're Moolocker right now, how much you regret the fold after seeing all these showdowns?
100%. Moolocker must regret that ace king fold after seeing so many ace x off shoves.
That's what I mean. You need to be in the zone. It doesn't matter if you're one of the best players out there. You need to be in the zone when you play. You need to be like totally focused. I don't know what he's doing right now, if he's grinding multiple tables on a normal Tuesday grind, or if it's just like one tabling, this final table. It's a lot of money from his office or from, I don't know, from the cell phone, from the bathroom. I don't know. GG app is pretty nice. I often
GG
play
app's
from my bathroom.
unbelievable.
I
Yeah.
play from my bathroom pretty often, so that's what I mean.
Goes big for value. This would be a really nice fold from Andre, considering all the crazy action. Now Almas has been crazy pre-flop. They haven't really been crazy post-flop. And maybe Andre can pick up on that. You know, like he raised flop, got called. Like what else could Almas has? So it's a tough spot with bottom boat, but I mean, a fold would be really impressive.
Yeah, it makes totally sense. You crack the hand, you crack down the hand. So this guy has not been very active post flop. So every time he bets post flop, he's got it. How you play a jack here? You check call the check raise, you bet the turn, and you go for value on the river. So yeah,
Andre Novak. I mean, take a mini bow for that one. Could have lost a lot more. And wow, what a nice play. What a nice river fold.
Yeah, it wasn't the craziest tough fold ever, but like he's in the zone now.
Yeah, it's
and
nice.
It was great fold.
Oh, this could be bloody as well. Pocket kings here. Wow, the dynamic has completely changed. What action here on the Super Millions final table? Everybody in the chat is loving it. I'm loving it. Felipe's loving it. We've had quite the show here today, and we're about to see some more blood. Kings are going to shove. Queen 10 suited's going to fold, and Almas is going to call. I think that is my prediction.
I think you're right.
Yeah, 2.6 million. Ace Jack in trouble here. Oh, wow. A brutal turn card for the pocket kings, and just like that, poker, there is a lot of luck involved. My goodness. Bad beat there for our fifth place exit. What a crusher. D. Mikolakis. I'm sorry to the European audience. I try to pronounce these names. They're unique. You know what I mean? I'm from Canada. People are named like James Brown, Mike Smith. These names have lots of consonants and vowels, and I do my best. I know I struggle with the names.
Yeah. Well, I must say that Miko played great today.
Yeah.
His play was like very concise, so you can understand why he played the pocket fours. I would play differently, but that doesn't mean he played bad. And he got it in amazing shape, in great shape. So that must stink for him today. Sad to see him go on fifth place.
And just like that, down to 4. And Almas is on the all-time roller coaster ride here. Back to the chip lead. But has to be careful because Andre has a big stack to his immediate left. So it can't just be all loosey-goosey. Every player is guaranteed at minimum 151,000.
Yeah, and his problem now, Alma's problem is that Novak has a good stack and has position on him. So, and he's clearly the best player. So it's not very good news. Once you had all the chips in the world, you had like the 9.5 million, almost 10 chip stack, and Novak had the 1.5 million. So
Almas
now everything
just doesn't
completely
bluff post flop. Not a bluffer post flop. I thought maybe they could win this pot on the river. Wow, thin value now from Andre. Just realizing where he's at.
Yep.
Four-handed. Moolocker. I mean, has laddered successfully, but I think will regret that ace king fold.
Yeah, no, by now, I mean, after he folded the hand, I think he already knows. He already knew he made a bad fold, regardless of the showdown. Regardless of the showdown, you know. Smart guy, studies a lot the game. Will run the equities after. We'll study and we'll realize that sometimes you need to add everything a player is doing to that sober thing, you know, and that
Yeah.
sober thing, it's only halfway through your poker success, because the other half is you're playing humans. You need to understand a lot how the human mind works, the tendencies, you know, the tilt, the patterns. So if you only go through that left side, which is the math side, and etc., you probably won't be as successful as a player that's mixing up.
100%. Well said.
Like I had like some of similar spots. I just tried on even now where some spots I should never be bluffing, and I was bluffing because I don't think people would expect me to be bluffing on those spots, and I would say that I won 95% of the hands.
Yeah, exactly.
So that's kind of adjustments you should be doing if you call yourself a poker player, right? If you call yourself a poker pro.
Wow, bunch of hands here four-handed. Sixes, ace, jack, ace 10. What a wild ride this final table has been. Almaz was up to almost 9 million. What does Novak do here with ace 10? Playing from Ukraine. The Ukrainian players are strong. Two of the winners of the World Series of Kmart were from Ukraine. Does go for the squeeze. Was wondering if that was coming. And now I think sixes just have to fold. And then Almez is going to probably call. We're going to see a big pot here between the two chip leaders.
Yeah, I'll tell you that this hand can work, and I'll say you the first reason why I don't like, because it's not a regular three bet spot. You're playing versus an opponent that doesn't have a full button pre-flop. He have seen all the flops, right? And then you have to play your ace 10 post flop on a 9-7-7. Now good luck, right? Actually, it's a pretty amazing board for you to see bet, pretty good spot for you to be in, so you're probably gonna win. But I don't think that's ideal. I think that, let's say if you have like Lena on that spot, you know, on the button, it's a
Yeah.
way better spot for you to apply some pressure with the three bet, because this three bet is obviously light. You don't like your ace 10 and you say, oh, look at my hand, how strong I am right now, so I'm gonna put another bet. No, you're just thinking, I'm gonna put this bet over here and I'm gonna try to take down pre-flop.
I agree, but a little bit of muscle post flop gets it done there. And Andre Novak with some very nice play is your new favorite to win this whole thing. Has position on Almaz. Feels like it's, I mean, is this it?
Yeah.
Once
Again, Kmart. Once again, what Novak has done is beautiful. He's doing everything that he's supposed to be doing, right?
Yep.
So that turn card is the best turn card for you to second barrel. So that's like wow, look at this play, you know. If you were there, you'd crushing the same. I was gonna crush the same. Most of the top pros will crush the same. So I'll give kudos for him to having his mind in place, waiting for his opportunities, and playing close to perfect poker. That's great. So that's amazing. But that spot was also an often a regular spot, right? A normal spot to be in.
Now, interesting spot here. Button shove. Ace 9 does go with it. We have a flip. This is a big one. The two short stacks clash in here. Safe so far for the pocket eights. Oh my goodness. That turn has been brutal today. As a moo locker is going to be eliminated. A great showing, 151,000. A great run. What could have been if they took the ace king earlier? We'll never know, but a great showing. Absolute crusher. Super Millions winnings, GGPoker winnings. And ladies and gentlemen, we are down to 3. We are
GG,
down
buddy.
to 3.
GG, amazing player, great result, 4th place for a another 6-figure score. And yeah, that's weird because you fold the ace king in that spot where you had double of the chips. You got it in with the eights right now, so you know it could be there. You could be up there. Who God knows what would have happened, but yep, that didn't go very well after the fold.
We'll have to see here what happens three-handed. Novak in the lead, Almaz there in second. And we haven't mentioned this player very much. K. Maslak, rocking the Russian flag. Putting together a nice little run here. Here we go. Yeah, we have barely mentioned them. Got the red hat in the profile picture. Experience on GGPoker, obviously. They haven't VPIP'd as much. You can see 18% VPIP on the lower side, but it's like, hey, I feel like we haven't talked about them at all, and here they are with 3 million final three.
Yeah, but it's actually very normal. When you have like a short stack, you should be VPIPing very low, waiting for your opportunities. You cannot raise too much. You cannot play defend your blind too much as well. So that becomes like kind of standard. Now with a straight scoops 1 million, and he's suddenly at the three-handed.
Three-handed play, button, small blind, big blind. Got to get after it. Ooh, Almaz not going to like that turn. Ooh, are they going to get crazy here? No, they haven't. They haven't really pulled the trigger post flop. That hesitation looked like they were thinking about leading.
Yep.
They play the board. No. Andre is going to be very happy to take showdown here. That's about both the other players combined with 7 million now. Let's go. You guys are enjoying the show here. Appreciate y'all joining us on the YouTube channel, GGPoker. Again, GGPoker just passed 100 subs on YouTube. They're going to get that YouTube play button. I like this. I like this 3-bet from Almaz. Nice play. Ooh, some connection here between the two shorter stacks. What a great feeling, though. You're three-handed, 200K locked up. Life is good. Going for more.
Yeah, you don't really love to pair, right?
King 7 is bluffing. Almaz just going to call. Ooh, this is interesting. Does Maslak fire the river now just with king high, no spade? It'd be a little weird because when they bet the turn, they're not going to bet two pair or a set on this connected board. Now that it pairs, now the story is a little interesting. Can Queen 10 find the correct call? This is a defining moment right here. Almaz, oh, quickly folds the best hand. And what a great, great bluff. What a great bluff.
But what you said makes sense because you don't really want to bet a jack anymore on that river, right? Mm-hmm. You don't really want to bet an 8 on that river. So you're a little bit trying to represent the 2 pair with the boat on the river or the flush, right? So for half of the pot, I think that it will depend on your opponent frequency. But if your opponent frequency is he's a good player, has a larger frequency than normal, it becomes like a really good bluff catcher and also a really good bluff candidate.
100%, yeah.
if you want to turn your hand into a bluff, that's the spot.
That would have
Because
been a
you
sexy play to just to rip it in there, rep the full house.
yep. Uh, yeah. I,
Poker's
I
so good.
was
What a great game.
yeah. I was kindly thinking about the play because by the way the hand was played, I had that in my heart. If I was sitting at that spot, I'll probably try to do that play. Um, especially because if I have a table image as almost as a person that does not bluff,
Mm.
right? So if you have an image as a person that does not bluff, you need to bluff a lot, okay, folks? Beautiful advice. You guys can go home now.
Yeah, that's all you need.
That's all you need.
Especially in
Of
like
course, you
live
don't go
games as
home. Yeah.
well.
Yep. Table image, table
Table
presence
image.
is
And then
so
if you look
important. Yeah.
like me, bluff less because people don't fold to people who look like me, younger, like, you know what I mean? Like, they're not, be aware of your table image in the
Yep.
live poker world.
No, me too. I can be the tightest player in the world if I show up at a live table. Like I look like a pro, right? Whatever.
Mm-hmm.
GG hedge, like
Yeah.
headphones, the hoodie. Nobody's gonna fold anything to me. So yeah, you need to watch out.
Andre Novak bets flop. Gonna check this turn. Wow, a little pickup for Almaz. Almaz is gonna check. Now Almaz is definitely checking this river. Andre's going to find some thin value here, right? We're going to bet to a small size. No, he snap checks. Doesn't even consider it. Interesting. Okay. I mean, he's cooking right now. I think maybe could have gone for small value there. He's a better
Yeah, I
player
like
than
the
I am.
idea. Yeah, I'm not sure about that. I think that he could definitely have considered to
Oh,
place a bet on the river.
flopping the nuts here with 5-6 of clubs. Ace Jack does have the ace of diamonds.
Yeah, one thing also here that's gonna pop up soon is that he's taking a little longer to make decisions. So he has only 2 minutes in the time bank now. Could be a thing.
There's going to be some blood here. 2 premiums. 3-handed. It's going to be a 3-bet and a call. Almaz going to shove here. Big moment here. 3-handed Super Millions final table. Oh, it doesn't go for the all-in. Goes for the small 4-bet. And I wonder if that changes things. No, it's going to get in. Big flip. Ace of diamonds. Just like that. Almaz is your chip leader once again. The crazy swings here. Man, if Andre holds there with the pair, he's got a good chance to take it down, but now he falls into second. Got to win your all-ins.
Yep.
Felipe, what's a piece of advice maybe you could give to someone in the chat? Maybe you could give to me, somebody who has been a very bad all-in player lately. I've had moments of heat this year. My all-in game the last month has been oh wow, we're gonna experience another all-in here. Same situation, pair versus ace king.
Oh my goodness.
2 monsters.
It could be massive. Massive.
Meanwhile, Mazlak on the sideline keeps watching these massive all-ins. Is just begging to get heads up. Had an opportunity there. We'll have a second opportunity here. Deja vu, exactly the same hand.
Yeah. I don't think now he's gonna take a little longer to shove, and but I don't see him getting away with it. It makes no sense. especially for all that happened. But that's what maybe he should have done in the past hand, you know. When he got clicked back, he shoved those nines too fast. Your opponent doesn't. It was first time your opponent is four betting and clicking, so I think it's standard to stack off with that hand. But
I think it's going in. They're just
anyways,
having a little fun. They're just having a little pre-flop fun here, clicking it back and forth. All right. Wow. This is for most of the chips in play. Ace King versus Queens. Wow. Heart as well. Big river card. Oh, the King of Spades. Oh, my goodness. Andre Novak. GG. That's got to be a tilting way to exit. Could have had, just lost two massive all-ins. Literally nothing he could do. Two big flips. Neither went his way. Good game to Novak. He played really well. I think he might have had the best performance at the final table today. Very good game. We're heads up.
I think he found his game. Yeah, he found his game in the middle of the game. Like, I don't think he started that well, but in the middle of the game, he played really well. And I just had a debate about the ninth hand, but at the end, pretty standard things.
Let's flip again. Let's flip again. Let's keep flipping for the win. Almaz, nines, holding. Big favorite to be the champion here. Way holding. This is how you win tournaments. Win your flips. River. Oh, no. We play on. King of Spades keeps the game going.
Suddenly they have the same stack. I guess you cannot complain running all-ins for Almas because he's been winning all the all-ins. He's been like a cracking better hands. So he lost this one, so no complaints.
Big heads-up match. Both players have locked up $250,000. They're playing a $70,000 heads-up match here. We were back.
Yeah, I just wonder if they're gonna keep playing very aggressive. All the Broadways and aces going all in. I know they're a little deep right now, right? With both with around 7 million chips, and would say that Maslach has more experience. Of course, the better player here. Just heads up, but anything can happen, folks. Anything can happen, especially if you happen to study a lot, final tables, short-handed play, heads-up play. That's why we study all this shit, because whenever it gets to it, whoever is the most prepared here, I know there's a lot of variance. We need to understand there's a lot of variance in a single tournament, in a single heads-up match. But studying tournament scenarios and reviewing your hands is the best thing a tournament player can do. So whenever you're in this spot, you're in this position right now, you already know what to do, right? So most of the tournament players, when they get to a final table, they often don't know what to do, especially heads up, because think about when was the last time you played heads up? And think now, when was the last time you played a poker tournament? Can you see the gap? So if you find the gap, you find the lack of study a little bit. So that's my advice. If you want to be a tournament grinder, if you want to be a tournament player, you gotta study all the phases of the tournaments, because that's very, very, very important. Here we have a situation where both players have a little piece of this flop, right? Gut shot, and of course, the open-ended straight flush draw came out.
Wow. What am I coming back to here? My goodness.
Yep. So Maslach bet the flop. Almost with the monster hand just check called and saw the turned beautiful. Three of clubs, and Maslow keep firing. Wow, I wonder if he's gonna call again, because if you just, oh, beautiful,
Oh,
beautiful.
so 6-7 is the best hand.
Yep. I think he's firing. I think he's firing Kmart, because he has a lot to give up for, because he's the aggressive player pre. He bet all the streets. I think he's going for the triple barrel.
Wow,
And
great call, Felipe. Oh, a 6 beats him in the pot. Wow, unbelievable triple barrel, and then just gets snap called there. What a hand.
Yep, crazy. And Almas may have played the best hand of the tournament for him, the best hand of the tournament. You know, he decided to only call. It's very, very acceptable. You have a big draw. You don't often need to go for the check raise, because whenever you hit your draw, you have an aggro opponent and so aggressive that can triple barrel you as a bluff. And so that was a great play. That was a great play.
I totally, you had a great call on that hand, Felipe. Delete that one from existence. The man had a flush. Why did I not see that? I was looking at the board.
Of course you saw the flush. It's all good. He check call with the straight flush draw and hit the flush.
Thanks for covering for me. I messed up that call. I came back.
Of course you're not.
You know, I joined.
What are you talking about? You called the flush on the turn. What are you talking about? So next subject here.
Okay, we move on. Thanks.
Add the
Thanks
chat.
for covering.
Add the chat. Icelander 50, he said something really nice in the chat. I'm gonna read it. He was like, same in golf. You need to be good off the tee and a good green player, right? Because we're talking about what are the poker skills you need to have to play a poker tournament. So often you don't play a lot of heads up, right? You play a lot of tournaments. But when was the last time you got heads up? Right? That's why we like to study tournament scenarios in order to be a good tournament player. Right, because whenever you get there, you know what to do.
100%.
And I often say that poker is a beautiful sport, individual sport, such as if you were, Kevin, a golfer, if you were a tennis player. I see ourselves exactly as the same as an individual that play a tournament or any other individual sport. So having that mentality makes you grow a lot in the game, knowing that you need to know all these nuances of the game, train a lot, have a good health, good mental state, good physical state in order to perform better than your competitors.
100%. Everything that I hear from the true crushers of the game is they treat it just like athletics. Physically, mentally, everything. The best.
There's something I wanted to say as well, which was a couple months ago. There was let's focus on the action, of course, but there's a nice story of
tens with a chance to double, but this could be it. Aces have been hot. There it is. This is it. Wow. 95% to win the tournament. It's not there. There's your champion. Almas started the table day as the chip leader, put on a show. It was not easy, but Almas gets the job done for $317,000. Good game to our second place finisher, Maslak, for $250,000. Wow, Felipe, that was a crazy final table. My goodness. That was really something.
It was a predictable result because we thought he was going to win. He had such a big chip lead, but not in that way, right? So it was like a weird way. He lost his stack. He was like second in chips, I guess, or even third in chips at some point. Ended up winning.
Unbelievable. Yeah, it was a roller coaster. It looked like they were going to run away with it. Then they didn't, and then they won some all-ins, some massive flips there, three-handed, and a very quick heads-up match, and there is your champion. My goodness. Wow, that was an exhilarating final table. Thank you all for joining us today here on the GG YouTube channel. If you can hit us with a thumbs up, a comment, and a sub to this channel, that would be very appreciative. If you don't follow my man Felipe Ramos on all his social media accounts, he makes some of the best content. What do you got coming up the next couple weeks here, Felipe?
So Felipe Mojave at all social medias, which is my nickname. We'll be playing WSOP online. Very excited for the main event, of course, $20 million. Playing here from the comfort of my home. So you guys gonna see me firing up the Twitch streams, such as Kmart. And hopefully we'll find some very nice success at this WSOP main event, me and you, Kmart.
Yes.
And I also invite you guys to play satellites for $8. So that's pretty amazing, pretty good opportunity to climb up the ranks with this massive $20 million guarantee.
I'm sad I'm actually missing the main event because I'm getting married in Mexico.
So I'm winning 100%. I thought I was gonna maybe lose to you, heads up, so now I'm winning.
You know, now it's yours. I hope you win. I wish I could play the tournament, but I'm getting married with my family, friends, and stuff. So it's
priorities.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, of course.
Exactly.
This is amazing.
Yeah. So it's all very
congratulations to you once again.
Thank you very much.
I don't know if the chat already said congratulations to you, but now it's time for you guys to send all the love to Kmart and all the happiness in the world, because we need this man as happy as possible so he can keep doing the broadcast, firing up the streams, and etc.
Thanks, man. I appreciate that. Yeah, I'm actually going to stream today. Guys, come join me on Twitch, YouTube. Where am I going to stream today? My YouTube channel is doing well. Twitch channel is doing well. Make sure you follow me on all the social medias. Kevin Martin on Twitch. Follow Felipe. And again, thank you to the Korean production team from GG. You guys always do a great show. Happy to fill in today. I think Jeff Gross will be back next week. But what a final table that was. We laughed, we cried. I'm going to fire up my stream right away. So everybody come join me. I wish everybody the best. Felipe, you're the man. Thank you very much. Final thoughts?
Big shout out to my friend Jeff Gross and the production team here on GG. I'm just going to finish it up, that thought process before. And with all the respect to my friend Eric Seidel, this guy was criticized back in the day because he just did not win a hand while playing the EPT in Monte Carlo. People show up on my stream and say like, oh, this guy cannot win anymore. Look at this. The game has changed. And I say, you guys have no clue what you're talking about. And then he started winning everything after, right? And then I was leaving the Trident event to fly here home so I can do the broadcast with my main Kmart. And who is the guy that's the GOAT in poker, had all the results, and by the AM is the first person in the gym doing the push-ups. Eric Seidel. So you guys need to respect the legend, okay? And that's why the man, the myth, is so long on top of the poker business, because he puts up the work. And that's what you guys should do if you want to be a successful athlete.
Yeah, who's out there disrespecting Eric Seidel? One of the all-time GOATs. Got to put some respect on his name. Felipe, respect on your name. We had fun here today. Thank you again, GG team. Guys, sub to the channel. Everyone have a good night. Bye-bye. Thanks for watching.